Are we worried about Virat Kohli?
When's the last time you made a century?
We're not worried about Virat.
Not worried about Virat.
Are you scared of Virat Kohli? Are we nervous about him?
No, he's on. He's gone. He's finished.
He's finished.
I remember I was not disciplined at all in terms of my eating and my fitness. I mean, I can't even relate to that guy anymore that I was in those years, you know. The business side of things wasn't doing well for my brother. The house was on rent, and then his online share trading account suddenly crashed. So one transaction went really bad, and all the transactions that he'd done before that and whatever he had accumulated sort of went down in a go. So he really the amount of stress it brought onto him mentally was huge. So he had a stroke, he had a clot form in his brain. I didn't know it because I was playing my first season and I was at practice, and I was coming back from practice, and I reached the house, and then my cousin's sister was there, and I asked her where everyone is, and she's like, "No, this was gone for a regular checkup." And I was like, "Take me there." So we went there, and then I saw him, you know, in a situation that I'd never seen him before. And
what was the situation?
Because it was a stroke in the brain, he wasn't able to react in the normal manner. You know, his body was moving in a funny way, and he was not able to figure out where he is, like the way he looked at people as well. It was like he lost total sense of what's going on. So I saw him like that, and then they took him to the operation theater, and then it was a very difficult time because they did the operation, then he came back home, and then he was in rehab, but I saw him, left side of his body got paralyzed, left side vision also got compromised, and he was just not able to communicate that well, even with the family members anymore, and you know, couldn't do anything by himself. People had to pick him up and take him to the toilet, and there he was, a self-made man. You know, he would just, in the house, if something went wrong, he wouldn't call anyone. He'd just open the socket, the electric socket, and just start fixing things himself. So he was that self-made, and he wasn't dependent on anyone. So for a person like that to go through that, he couldn't handle it after a while, and then eventually after a couple of weeks of rehab, he got a cardiac arrest.
And you were there?
I was batting actually. I was playing a game, and we were playing one of these 4-day games, which used to happen at the first class level, and I was supposed to resume batting the next day. And this happened around 2:30 or 3 in the morning, and we all woke up and we had no idea what to do, and he was gone by the time we woke up, and I literally saw him take his last breath in front of me. And I tried to pump his chest and all that, nothing worked. And then there were a few doctors around in that area that we lived in. We went to their place. No one opened the door because it was 3 in the morning. We couldn't get any response, and then we drove him to the hospital. But by the time they tried electric shocks and everything, all those kind of things, but nothing worked. He couldn't recover at all. So my sister and my brother and my mother, they all broke down, and funnily enough, I couldn't cry at all. There was no emotion coming out of me, and I just became blank. I couldn't register what just happened.
Why do you think that was?
I have no idea. Till date, I can't understand. And I was feeling like I was myself thinking, why am I not able to cry? And then I think it was all building up inside me. So when we came back, and everyone, all the relatives came in to sort of, you know, pay their condolences and stuff like that. And then I called my coach in the morning, and I asked him, or I told him what had happened. And then he asked me, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to go and play." So he said, "Are you sure?" And I was like,
Because you had a game that day.
yeah. And for me, leaving a cricket match was something which was not acceptable, regardless of what happened in life. Not going to a match was not an option I ever had, or I couldn't register that option in my mind. So I said, "I'm going to go." And he said, "Okay, if that's your decision, go ahead." So I left the house. I hadn't cried at all, nothing, no emotion. And my family was actually feeling a bit nervous looking at me because I was showing no emotion, and everyone was like, you know, crying, and they were emotional. And then I went to the game, and I picked up a friend of mine again, and I told him what had happened. He thought I was joking. He didn't believe me. We kept going. We reached the stadium, and when we reached the stadium and I sat in the change room, and he told everyone what had happened. So when everyone came around me to tell me, "We are sorry for you," and that's the time I really broke down, and that's the time all that emotion came out, and I don't know why.
The strangest part of the whole story to me was that night when you called your coach back and you were upset. He was surprised that you weren't upset about what he would have thought it was about. You were upset about your performance in the game.
I was upset because the umpire in the game made a wrong decision and he gave me out when I wasn't out. And I was upset because I couldn't be there till the end to make my team win the game. And I was really upset about that. So yeah, in the evening he was surprised to know that I was actually talking about that. So I played IPL from 2008, 9, 10, 11 and then 12. IPL 12 was, I was playing for India. I was playing for the national team at the highest level, but I hadn't got the success, that some of the established players did. And IPL 2012 again had a really, really bad IPL season and my eating habits were horrible in that season. Very, very bad. And I can remember coming back home and I came out of the shower, the team didn't do well. I came out of the shower, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, that's the time it hit me, and luckily everything that's been bad in me, somehow I get that calling myself that I need to get it right. There was hardly anyone who came to help me. There was hardly anyone who was looking towards me and saying, listen, let's work together and try to get your game up to speed. Everyone was just going after me left, right and center. So I was like, am I playing to prove these people wrong? For what? I've got nothing to do with them and they literally have nothing to contribute in my life. So I went back home, I was down for quite a bit. And then I saw myself in the mirror and I was like, you can't look like that if you're an international cricketer. I was like, how the hell are you going to continue like this if you don't take care of yourself? The great thing that happened at that stage was I realized who's with me, who's not. Things were filtered to an extent that I just got so relaxed when I went back home. I was like, okay, I've hit rock bottom now. No one believes in me. Everyone thinks I should not be playing test cricket. So what can I do? I can just work as hard as I can. Boom, from next day onwards, I just changed everything about my diet. Hitting the gym 2 hours a day, just taking a day off in a week, eating proper lean food. I got away from all kinds of junk. I did not have a cheat day at all. And within 8 to 10 months, I lost about 6 or 7 kgs. And then from then on, it became such an addiction because I saw the results on the field. I felt quicker, I felt lighter, felt more focused, and then I was like, man, this is the path I want to go. It was before all of this happened. This was when I played for the country and then I was left out. And for 13 months I wasn't selected again, and then it became sort of a madness that I want to get back up. Honestly, I mean, if you had told me, anyone who would have known what I'm doing in those sessions leading up to the Australia tour, where I was visualizing taking on probably the most dangerous bowler in the world at the moment, Mitchell Johnson, and someone would have told me you're a fool, that you're literally going in there and wanting to get under his skin or taking him on straight away. I want to get back into the team, and then those 13 months I was so focused that I want to get back into the team, and my performances were such that the selectors could not ignore me after a while. So eventually I got my chance again, and luckily I've never been out of the team since. There always have been two options for me. Either it's fight or flight, and I've never taken flight. I've never taken flight. Look, when I step onto the field, I have to believe that I'm the best. Because my mindset, as I said, was very clear from the first time I started playing this game. I'm not going to allow anyone to think that I'm just a pushover on the field. This was actually end of 2011, 2012 actually, when we came back from Australia, and I figured out the difference or the gap that we have with other countries. And I thought if we don't change the way we are playing, or I don't change the way I'm playing, or the way I'm training, or thinking, or eating, I can never be among the best players in the world. And there's no point in just competing if you don't want to be the best. So I wanted to be the best version of myself, and then I based everything around that vision. And then my training, my diet, my approach towards the game, everything changed. And I know that I wasn't the most skilled sports person when I came in, But the only thing that's been constant is working hard on myself and my game. And that was the time I realized, well, if the Indian team has to be the best team in the world, we need to go ahead in a certain manner. I didn't feel that, when I walked into play, there was any kind of fear or respect in the opposition corner. So I felt like I don't want to walk into the field thinking, or the opposition thinking, of this is just a pushover. Don't worry about this guy. He's gonna do no damage to us, and he's just playing just like another player in the team and stuff. I wanted to make an impact. I knew that I have the ability to make my team win, and I wanted to be that version of myself where if I walk in, I wanted teams to think like, we need to get this guy out or else we're going to lose the game. So I thought if I can't have that impact on my team, then I'm not doing justice to where I am. And if I don't want to be that guy, there's something wrong in my head. Either I've accepted being lower than what I should be, or I just don't have enough drive in me. So I said I'm going to unlock my max potential and achieve what I should be.